The face on Mars. What forces could have shaped this enigmatic phenomenon? Is it merely the result of natural erosion, or is there something more? Since its discovery in 1976 by the Viking 1 probe, this mysterious formation has been the subject of speculation, conspiracy theories, and rigorous scientific analysis. For decades, some believed it could be evidence of a lost civilization, while others insisted it was nothing more than a play of light and shadow. But today, with high-resolution images and new technologies, the truth about the face on Mars has come to light. But does it match what we imagined? In this video, we'll explore its history, what science has revealed, and the questions that still remain unanswered. 2 years after the Viking mission, 2 engineers contracted by NASA noticed the face in one of the photographs and began digging through the original Viking images.
I went to the National Space Science Data Center, and after doing a search, I found the picture right there in front of me and labeled head, and it was a picture of the face in Cydonia. So there was no mistaking that NASA had identified this picture as resembling the human form of a face.
Using the technology available at the time to analyze the photograph, the 2 engineers subjected the face to meticulous scrutiny in order to determine what it really was, ultimately concluding that the face was simply a natural geological formation.
I have found other pictures that look like other natural or unnatural things. There's a particularly amusing one of Kermit the Frog. It just looks like Kermit the Frog. And I can't myself place any scientific value to that any more than I can the face on Mars. It's just one of those oddities of nature, just as you see clouds assume certain shapes, Spanish galleons and so forth.
Interestingly, the 2 engineers found a second photograph taken at a different time, which seemed to confirm that the face looked exactly the same, regardless of the lighting or the camera angle.
I was very impressed because they had gone to the trouble of finding 2 photographs of the face, not just one. And I remember particularly being impressed by the fact that they appeared to have found what looked like an eyeball. You can see a dark depression in the middle of the eye socket on both pictures, clearly visible.
At that moment, everyone was puzzled. The famous faces of Mars had become a topic of conversation everywhere. But later, in 1998, through an agreement between NASA and JPL to finally reveal what the face on Mars truly was, an incredibly sophisticated camera for its time was used aboard the Mars Global Surveyor spacecraft. However, when the photographs arrived and JPL enhanced the image that was expected to be the big revelation, the result looked nothing like what many had anticipated. This sparked suspicion among those who believed the intention was to discredit the mystery. But NASA and JPL weren't the only experts who analyzed the images captured by the Mars Global Surveyor's camera.
The image that JPL released to the media in 1998 is not at all a faithful representation of even the raw data, let alone what is actually there. Image processing experts who have now treated the image properly have shown that it does indeed look very much like a hominid face. When we got the original image of the face in 1976, there was always the possibility that it was just a trick of light and shadow or something that was an accident of nature. When we got the high-resolution image, to our amazement, all of the secondary facial features were there too. Eyebrow, irises, nostrils, and lips with the correct size, shape, location, and orientation to be portrayals of a humanoid face. The odds against each of those things happening by accident range from 1 in 10 to 1 in 10,000. When you put them all together, the odds against all of them being accidents of nature are 100 billion to 1. Based on the results of the test, the object is artificial beyond a reasonable doubt.
And it wasn't just him. At the time, many saw more than just a simple rock formation. Some claimed that the face was part of a larger complex, with aligned pyramids and evidence of a lost civilization. For them, the new images didn't dispel the mystery. They only fueled further suspicion that there was something they weren't telling us. The face still lacked a definitive answer. For some, it was nothing more than a natural formation. For others, it remained evidence of something much greater. But in 2006, with the Mars Express mission, the ESA, the European Space Agency, took advantage of the most advanced technology of the time to once again observe the Cydonia region, where this enigmatic formation is located. This time, they not only captured ultra-high-resolution images, but went a step further. They created a 3D model of the famous face on Mars. And with this new data, there was little room left for doubt. The ESA confirmed that the famous face was nothing more than an optical illusion, a hill eroded by wind and time, which, under certain lighting conditions, appeared to be a face gazing up at the sky. The 3D model was key to dispelling the illusion. From this detailed angle, it became clear that the shadows that once sculpted a face were merely the result of the interplay between sunlight and the terrain's irregular shapes. Seeing the formation from different perspectives ultimately shattered the appearance of the famous face. As the model was explored, any trace of symmetry completely disappeared. What had seemed like a defined face from a fixed view transformed into irregular slopes and random elevations when seen from a different angle. This level of detail made it clear how the Martian sunset light and human imagination had been largely responsible for the illusion. Watching the formation in motion, the famous face on Mars faded before our eyes. But not everyone was satisfied with the official explanation. Some remain convinced that these formations are much more than just rocks shaped by time. For them, the face and the nearby structures are the last remnants of an ancient civilization that once left its mark on Mars. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's really important to me, so I can keep creating more videos like this. On the other hand, you can find fascinating space images to decorate your walls on our website. Our fine art prints are made for incredible clarity and deep, rich colors. And the best part is, you can choose whether you want them framed or unframed. International shipping is completely free, and you would also be supporting the creation of more videos like this. I'll leave the link in the description. See you in the next video.